Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex. This channel I just started, its first video. What I want to talk about is the stuff I invest in and the reason behind it. I do want to provide my thesis as to my investment strategy, and if you guys like it, by all means, go for it. Now, I've made a lot of mistakes throughout my investment career. As you guys can tell, my account it's not the biggest when you compare it to other YouTubers, but I'm willing to be transparent about everything I do. Now, my peak was in April 4th when it reached 84K. As you guys can tell, the market has been going downhill, and mainly for multiple factors. It could be the war in Russia, Ukraine. It could be the Federal Reserve increasing rates, the overall economy going to the doo-doo. It could be a lot of factors. But regardless, my thesis in regards to investing, it has not really changed a lot. My strategy, well, a little background about myself. I'm in my early 30s. I worked government for all of my adult life until about 2 years ago. And then I left that line of work and recently joined the corporate world. In this line of work, I've learned a lot about investing, how companies are being run, and how to make things more efficient. And with that said, my goal is to reach $1 million by my early 40s, late 30s. And so far, it does seem reachable. And I wanted to go into details as to the companies I invest in, why I invest in, and give you guys a full thesis of it. So for the next few weeks, I'm going to try to post a video at least once a week in regards to all the companies I invest and give you a full-blown thesis. Anyway, the way I distribute my portfolio allocation, it's through three pies. And I use M1 Finance for my investments. And pretty much, if you guys are not familiar with M1 Finance, you guys set up a pie and set up the allocations by percentage. And every time you guys put money in it, it goes through the pie that's underweight to help it lift it up and try to keep it even. I do have it divided into three sub pies, and the top one is going to be income, which is companies that are well established, pay a reliable and steady dividend. Now, I don't see a lot of growth potential on it, but their dividends, it's for the most part secure. Second one is going to be income/growth companies, and these are going to be companies that pay a low dividend, but at the same time use some of the gains they make to reinvest back in the company, hence growth. And the last one's going to be, last but not least, going to be growth. And these are companies that do not pay a dividend. However, all the money they make, they put it back in the business and help it growth. Anyway, so let's get started. Let's go with the first, and it's going to be a rapid fire to the companies I invest. And like I said, I'm going to go into more detail later on, but let's start with income. The companies I invest in is going to be top 32% is going to be Vichy, VSCI. It's, to make it simple, it's a company that buy properties in Vegas, and it's a REIT that focuses mainly on entertainment and experiences. The second one is going to be Lockheed Martin. Many of you guys probably know about them. They make the F-35s and also invest in space exploration. The next one is going to be General Dynamics with the 22% allocation. They make submarines. They have contracts with the Navy to upgrade their ships, and they also make the M1 tanks and things of that nature. The next one is going to be at a 5% allocation. It's going to be land, and what they do is they buy land and rent it out to farmers. Simple as that. It's also a REIT too. The next one's going to be NextEra Energy, and this company is based out of Florida, and it's pretty much tries to focus on green energy. And yep. The next one's going to be Stags, and what they do is they buy warehouses and rent them out to distribution centers. I mean, working in the corporate world, I gain a lot of knowledge on how this business is run, and when I go into my full thesis, I'm going to try to impress everyone with this one. AGM, I'm selling out of it. Not because they're a bad company. I think they're actually a great company with great financials and great strong dividend. It just does not fit my investment thesis for the overall goal. So I'm going to sell out of this one in the Monday when the market opens and put it into Vichy over here. The next one's going to be a 1%. Really, it's more of a risk play per se. It's Alico. What they do is also a REIT, and they grow citruses, oranges in the state of Florida. And you guys are going to tell my reasoning as to why I like to invest in companies based out of Florida, but I'm going to go into that in another video. But anyway, Alico, what they do is also land management. They have land that has oil and minerals, and they distribute it, sell the rights, things of that nature. And the last one's going to be an ETF, SCHD, which stands for high dividends. It's an ETF that goes for companies that pay a reliable dividend with a history of increasing them throughout time. Let's go to the next buy. It's going to be income growth. Three basic companies. Apple, it does not need an introduction. Microsoft, also I don't think it needs an introduction. And VOO, which is a mirror of the S&P 500, is also an ETF. And the reason I put it in this one is because I do believe in the U.S. economy is going to grow overall, and it also pays a nice little juicy dividend while I wait for it to grow. Last but not least, growth. I have to go with Tesla number one, 75% allocation. The reason I like it's because management. What I learned in government is a lot about body analytics, and I like to find a company with a great management team. Besides, okay, so you have people that looks at the financials of the company, the business model. That's nice and all, but I want the people running the business to be a group of winners. I want them to be alphas. I want them to be go-getters, guys that do not give up, that are willing to be like, you know what, I have this dream and it's gonna work out. Now, granted, Facebook, they have a guy that's pretty alpha in that sense, but I don't agree with his business methods. Anyway, it's a whole different video. But Tesla, Elon Musk. Do I need to go into details? The next one's going to be Airbnb. I do think that millennials are going to go for more experiences than materialistic things, including myself. I'd rather skip and buying a table, a TV, or a couch so if I can travel and make memories with my loved ones. The next one's going to be Amazon. Once again, I don't think it needs an introduction. I do think it's a company that's going to keep growing, even though it's already massive. They keep acquiring businesses. It has a retail, online retail, food, movies, and it's always getting new little segments of the market. Google, I do think, even though it's a big company, has tremendous room for growth. And once again, I want to go into more detail when I do my full thesis on it. Fix. It's a company, to make it simple, they sell medical scrubs. It's two girls out of California. And the main reason I invest in this company, even though I bought at a really high price back in the day when it first came out, IPO, is because I do believe in their management. When we analyze the body analytics of their CEO, the two girls out of California, these girls are so alpha and they're so determined to make this company go forward that I'm like, yeah, take my money. Upwork, pretty much what they do is they do freelancing work. So if you have a laptop, you can do anything on Upwork. So companies sometimes, they don't want to hire somebody full-time. They go into the side, hey, I got this job, I'm willing to pay X amount of money, and then people go in and bid for it. And the next one's going to be the VUG, Vanguard Growth ETF. This company, it kind of mirrors the QQQ, the NASDAQ, but at a cheaper expense ratio. And it just have a really small allocation of only 1%, solely because it emphasizes growth. Anyway, if you guys do like videos like this and expect to see more of a full-blown thesis as to each company, give it a like, subscribe, and I'm going to try to post this video at least once a week. I know my work schedule is hectic. Maybe worst case scenario twice a week. But anyway, guys, subscribe, stay in touch, and give it a like. Y'all be good.